Good afternoon, Neil. Good afternoon, parents, carers, students, one and all. How was your half term?
Very relaxing, thank you, Neil. It was a really nice. Managed to get a little bit of a break away. Went down to Devon, had reasonably good weather, and was able to spend a lot of time walking my dog on the beach. What about yourself?
That sounds amazing. No such luck for me, I'm afraid. I was very much at home with the family, which clearly is the best place to be, other than at work. Um,
Absolutely.
anyway, glad that everyone's well and COVID free. Um, if only that was true of Bowhunt School. Do you want to tell me a little bit about where we are?
Yeah, well, we have been seeing a sort of pattern of a rising cases, much like the pattern that's rising across the country and nationally. And that has definitely been the case at Liphook for the last 3 weeks prior to half term. And certainly this week as well, it's starting to be an issue again, where we are obviously monitoring that really closely. And obviously that could we're seeing more cases now than we've seen in the whole of the pandemic since March 2020. So I think it is significant to us for us to keep monitoring closely, and obviously we may need to bring in some additional measures, and I don't know what those measures might be. Neil, is it something you can enlighten us on there?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we already have quite a high level of COVID vigilance and a COVID secure workplace as far as is possible. But there are some additional measures we may have to consider bringing in, such as mandating the wearing of face coverings in lessons, in classrooms, and at all times on the school site, other than when students are exercising or eating. And of course, those that are medically exempt would not have to wear face coverings were we to move to that position. We're also, regardless of levels of infection, we're installing carbon dioxide monitors in all of the classrooms to make sure that we are suitably ventilated, because obviously ventilation is a key means of protecting everyone from COVID. Problem we have is it's getting cold, so these
Yeah.
monitors mean that we don't have to always have the windows and doors open, but certainly once levels start to rise, the monitor will go off, and we will then have to make sure we have doors and windows open, and staff and students are free to put on coats and hats should that be necessary. We've also would take even further steps with our cleaning regime to increase further the frequency of cleaning, which is already several times during the day. So they are some of the measures, of course, we might be able to bring in should cases continue to rise. Because the most important thing is not only we're keeping everybody safe, but we're keeping schools open, because we don't want to go back to online learning.
I think
I
it's it
suppose
just
the other
I just
thing,
come in there, Neil, just to say, really, one of the things that parents could do to help us, particularly, is to let us know when their child has tested positive through a PCR test, because the PCR test for us is the most important result. And obviously, parents have been fabulous at reporting the LFT results, and that's been really helpful. But actually knowing when a child has been PCR positive, because that's our
yeah,
10-day breaker, really.
yeah, absolutely. And we've been quite fortunate that we've had low levels of staff infection, which has meant we haven't had to use all of our external cover teachers or collapse classes and sit them all in a hall, because that's not the sort of experience we would like our children to have. There's been an awful lot in the media and press, has there not, Neil, about vaccination for the 12 to 15-year-olds. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
Yeah, well, just obviously before half term, parents have been contacting the school for both sides about the concerns for vaccines, and and they're asking about when their child was having vaccines. And before half term, we didn't have any news for parents at all. Now, we've been in consultation with the immunisation service to try and get some clarity over that. And they have had bookings for flu jabs on the 10th, 11th and 12th of November. Now, those flu jabs have been cancelled, and they have moved us to allow us to have our COVID vaccine, or allow students to access COVID vaccines on the 10th, 11th and 12th. Now, that is right in the middle of our mock period, and unfortunately that means that year 11 will not be offered the vaccine, won't be offered the vaccine, and we're still in negotiation with the immunisation service as to when that might be. Now, it really needs to be made clear that it is the student and parents' choice about the vaccination. It's got
absolutely. It's nothing to do with us. We are educators. We are not medics.
No.
No opinion as to whether it is good, bad, or indifferent to get vaccinated. Very, very important that parents and children decide, not schools.
Absolutely, and it's we have no role in this.
They've got information as to whether what happens next. Yeah.
So what's going to happen next is the parents will receive an email shortly after this. They've watched this broadcast, and that will have a letter attached that is from the school NHS immunisation service that will explain the process of the immunisations. And then their sons and daughters will bring home letters tomorrow, which is the consent form that parents can either consent or not consent to. And then that will be returned to school by Monday of next week at 9 AM to their child's tutor. And then that will be then passed to school immunisation service, and they will then take over from that point onwards. So we are just passing information back, and then the immunisation service will take over from that. And then students in years 7 to 10 will receive, that have consented, will receive their immunisation next week on either Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. And then year 11 will be at some other point after the mocks have finished.
Yeah, and I think I'm right in saying that if parents have got any questions or concerns about the vaccination, they need to address those to the school's vaccination service, which is part of the NHS, and not school, because we are educators, we are not medics.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. There is, we will not be able to give them any information regarding the immunisations because we are not involved in it.
Okay, right. Well, I suppose we should wish Year 11 best of luck with their mocks and hope they're preparing. And until the next time, good to chat.
And Jay, thanks very much, everybody. Bye.
See ya. Bye.